Changes that we have today, DJ Jones has a shoulder. He will not practice. Tom Compton will be limited after his illness. Brandon McManus will be limited with a quad. Baron Browning is full with his elbow. Kareem Jackson is full. Jacob Bobenmeyer-Moyer is full also.
DJ, is that something that happened in practice?
It's something he had discomfort today, so we're just taking care of it and taking all precautions.
With Brandon limited, is that one of the easier injuries to manage because you can simulate the kicking other than the actual kick?
Yes, as much as you can. You got the jug machines and all that stuff.
With the Chiefs, you got a lot of buzz on their offense, but on defense, Frank Clark and Chris Jones.
Yeah, those two guys are absolutely spectacular. We're going to definitely have to have a plan for them. They do a great job with Chris Jones playing him a 3 technique, moving him outside to rush the tackles. And then at the same time, you got 55. I mean, Frank is playing at a high level. And then, I mean, even Dunlap, he's an older veteran player that is a huge man that I remember going against him when I was all the way back at the Buffalo Bills. And he's a very good football player, so they got a good defense.
Where does DJ's injury put him for Sunday? Is he trending in the right direction or wrong?
We're still working through that.
Their Chiefs are 26-1, I think, in November and December, the last 27 games. I know they're good all the time, but what do you see, particularly at the end of the season, where they kind of turn it on a little bit?
I mean, Coach Reid is an amazing football coach, and he understands, just like a lot of people, that December football is the most important football. You want to be winning games going into the playoffs. They're kind of the epitome of that with that record, as you see. And to be able to do that at the end of the season is so critical. And I think they do a great job. I mean, they're a great football team.
How surprised are you that their offense might be better without Tyreek Hill in some ways?
I mean, they're really good offense. They were with Tyreek. Obviously, I know MVS really well. A lot of those guys. I mean, in the end, that quarterback back there, he plays at a high level. They do a great job blocking it up for him, running the football, passing the ball, extending plays, running around, scrambling. It's fun to watch. Unfortunately, we're going to be going against them. We don't want it to be fun to watch this week.
Does Kelce become the top priority? A guy like looked like the Bengals basically tried to take him out, double him, bracket him. Is he the guy then you look to try to slow to make it? Maybe have to spin off somebody else?
It's going to be a challenge to contain him. Our defense did a good job last week containing Andrews, and it's going to be a challenge this week. Kelce is a dynamic pass receiver, and he can do some things in the run blocking, and they use him and move him around, motion him, do all kinds of things, so we'll have to be aware of him at all times, without a doubt.
Speaking of Kelce, a couple of weeks ago when the Rams played the Chiefs, they had Jalen Ramsey on Kelce for a lot of the game. Is that a role that you can see Pat Surtain doing as well, going up against a tight end like Kelce?
We're going to mix it up. We're going to do what's best for us and make sure that we always have a plan for him and know where he is. Even when you have a plan for him, he still has a knack for finding those open windows, especially when they extend plays. So, again, we're just going to have to be sure we contain him.
Nate, what do you like, or what have you seen most from Greg in terms of his improvement when he made his debut in Week 6 until now? Where have you seen the most growth from him?
The ability to use him in even more multiple spots. I think originally we wanted to kind of limit it for him and make sure that he understood exactly what he was doing at one certain position. But now we've amped up the personnels. We've motioned him. We've put him in different spots, lined him up at the receiver. So I think that just the extension of what he can do has really grown for him.
Over the last 2 games, maybe 2 of them talked about the heavy personnel and using more tight ends and all that. Is that game plan specific? Is that some based on the personnel you have at your disposal? Or has Russell made strides, your offense made strides and feeling good about running out of those personnel?
I think it's a combination of all those. I think that it's something that we always have up. We always want to be multiple in our personnels. And I think just because of some of the situations that we've had with some of the personnel, we've decided that is a good combination. We've done good in the run game. We've done good in the play pass, even some of the drop back that we've done with that grouping. But we always want to try to keep it as multiple as we possibly can.
It looked like you tried to ease Jerry back in a little bit last week. Is he going to be on a snap count at all this week?
We're still working through that. He did a great job. I really give him a lot of credit for battling through his injury and being available for us, especially when Cortland went down with his hamstring. So it's great to have him out there, and I think he's getting better every day.
Montreal's a guy that has had kind of a tough first year. You guys have tried to maybe spark him a few times on offense. How do you maybe keep a young guy like him and his confidence up, and have you met with him and talked to him about that?
Montreal does not lack confidence. He's a great young man. He works incredibly hard. He knows that we want to try to get the ball in his hands because he's a dynamic guy. We see it at times in the return game. So we just want to keep utilizing him, moving him around, motioning him, trying to throw him out there as much as we can.
You
A
few more for the coach, please.
You talked about the time, players have talked about the time it takes to implement this offensive system. How has that been impacted by kind of all the young guys that have been inserted in recently? And do you keep building from where you were, or do you have to take a few steps back and simplify things, or how does that work?
It's a combination. You still want to be dynamic and do different things, but you do have to understand you have to build the foundation. So I mean, all systems in the NFL are difficult, especially for young football players, because they come college. Sometimes it isn't as complex, and that we don't see as many defenses as you do in the NFL. So we try to, we gave them the foundation from the OTAs into training camp, so they had that. So we always want to kind of lean back on that when you have young players in, but you still want to try to mix it up. So you just kind of limit what you're going to do each week for those guys, because you want them to know and understand their packages when they're in and all those things.
Nate,
Last one, Arnie.
Andy Reid has quite a reputation for being a great play designer, and I know that's kind of your forte. Do you relish the chance to go up against him, and do you count him amongst the top guys that you admire in this?
Without a doubt. I mean, he's one of the greatest coaches to ever coach the game. And I always judge it off of coaches being with different quarterbacks, different teams, and showing success at all those different places with different people. His ability to adjust, his ability to plan for the guys that he has is amazing. I mean, he's done it continually over and over, and he comes from kind of the original West Coast world also. So I've looked up to him. I think he's an incredible coach. I've heard stories of people that have played for him, all the different ideas that he comes up with and the different things he does. So definitely strive to be anything I can like Coach Reid.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.